I'm working on a pulse width modulator at PWM controller for my fan, for my DC ceiling fan here. This is always so awkward. I think I'm going to need smaller, thinner wires for this, unfortunately. These 12 gauge wires are just not going to do it for this. I'm going to have to see if I can find some thinner wire, because the socket I have here, which goes into the controller, is too fine for 12 gauge wire. Let me see if I can find some finer wire. Alright, I'm going to try this again with some finer wire. See if I make this happen. Baby cat's trying to get after my power cord to my soldering iron, which is not a good idea. Okay, just making sure I got a good solder connection on that. The problem is I don't think I'm going to be able to fit this cap on with both wires through. Let me see if that'll fit. Maybe, maybe not. Because the other wire I have is over in the light switch box already. And if I can fit these into this, this is an integral part of the housing. Yeah, it's going to fit. Okay, good. If I can fit that in, I can fit the ground wire in. That goes on here for strength and security. These are Radio Shack things. They're very, very tiny, tight tolerances on these. Okay. Now I'm going to go over and solder the other end. This is going to be awkward, so forgive me, but I'm just going to take this over to the light switch. I'll show you the light switch over here. I'm going to go over to here. Well, maybe I can show you. I'm just really nervous about trying to do this on camera. You can see I have my pulse width modulator off eBay here, and I've connected it to my fan plus and minus wires. This goes up to my ceiling fan. I have the negative wire coming from downstairs, which is going to plug into that plug I'm working with right now. I've got my switch that was going to the ceiling fan, which the wire I just soldered on goes to here. That's the positive, so this turns it on and off. And then the negative will go into that, what I've got to put on right now. It's just very awkward to work with this tiny, tiny little thing. That's the protective housing. What I'm doing is trying to bring my soldering iron over far enough. So forgive me for a minute. Rerouting my cord. Bring over the soldering iron and the solder. Because this is into the wall, I can't run this around the house. Can you see where I'm working here? Make sure you can see what I'm doing. I have to pre-tin the wire. pre-tune the connector. Okay, now the fun part is getting that in there. A bit more solder in that. Get that into there, and then I'm going to tape everything before I put it together. Yeah, I'm going to put tape around that right now. I'm going to pause. Crazy thing is, I don't even know if this controller works, but I've got two of them. If one doesn't work, I've got another. If it's defective, it goes through a lot of work, but I've got two. These are eBay deals, so you just never know for sure. Anyway, there's that. Oh, it's hot. Ah, God, it's hot. Ow, ow, ow. I don't know if I had got good solder joint in that. Boy, that was hot. Yeah, okay. Boy, that was hot. Burnt my finger a little. It's awkward when you're working with such tiny spaces like this. Okay, there's that. Now, hopefully, we can bring this together. Now the cap doesn't want to move. Come on now. Oh, come on. It's a really tight fit. Alright, I'm going to run that cap down. You don't have to wait for me. Okay, now I didn't get the cap on all the way, and now with these Radio Shack things I ended up cutting the ground wire a little, so I taped it. I just taped the cap on to hold it securely. I never did get it on there all the way. So now this is going to be the positive wire coming from the switch to my controller. Okay, now there's that. I can put the switch back in place for safety here. Want that out of the way. Less things can go wrong without just dangling out all over the place. Now, I've got to simply strip that wire upstairs because I didn't connect it yet. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the fan connected upstairs. Now, as with any eBay item, I'm a little nervous, I have to be honest. I have no idea where that position is going to be. Light switch is off. There's no power going to be applied at this time. Okay, now I'm going to get this out of the way, because that will have AC, or that will have hot. It is hot. It is connected upstairs now, so I don't want to have anything tripping anything off. So when I flip the switch on, this will be live, and my fan should engage. Let me see. Yes, it does. Oh, it's confused. Okay, something's wrong. Let me turn the dial all the way. I don't know if the fan's going to like this. That does nothing. Fan kicks on. No. Fan is on. Alright. Now I'm going to turn this dial. I'm going to let you watch the fan while I turn the dial and see what happens. Hopefully it's going to adjust. Oh, hold on a minute. My tripod's hitting me. Oh, sorry. I'm going to pause the camera. Now hopefully I'm going to adjust the speed of the fan here in a minute by adjusting the dial. Yes, it's working. Okay, it's really working. I have seriously reduced the speed of the fan. Yeah, okay, it works. So I now have a variable speed fan controller in my tiny house on wheels. Let me see if I can turn it down a little bit slower. Okay, I don't know if that shows on the camera, but it certainly is making a difference. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Now I'm just slowly moving air from the ceiling down. Now I can crank that speed back up. I don't know if you're going to notice that on the camera, the speed. You might hear it. I think you can hear it. I can certainly hear it. And slow that right back down. How slow can it go? Wow. It doesn't really seem to like that slow. A little bit more. It gets to a certain point where it's too wobbly. There, it's good. Well, there we have it. Variable speed fan control. It's very wobbly at the lower speed, but it sure is working. Well, there it is. Then I can shut it off. All power disconnected. Flip it on. And it works. There it is. And this was designed to have a variable speed control because they have the options that you can buy them. Well, there it is. Tiny House on Wheels now has a variable speed ceiling fan. Done. We'll have a look back over here at the circuitry before I put it in the box. See what we have here. See the viewer is the variable speed control here, the dial that just varies the speed of the fan now. This is just a potentiometer, otherwise known as a variable resistor. You notice these in your old car stereos, the non-digital ones, the old dials. And my PWM controller here, just a little circuitry. Make sure it's not getting too hot. No, as long as it's not hot, we're happy. And then my on-off switch. And it works. Good. Gonna work. Now, I'm gonna give this whole circuit a coating in tape so that it's protected. Right now there's no power to it at all. When I cut off the switch, I'm cutting off power to the entire circuit. So there's no power here at all now. But I'm going to tape this entire circuit up, and then I'm going to have the dial. I'll have to mount on the. I'm going to have to drill a hole through the faceplate later. I'll have to see how that works out. I do have a faceplate. Whether it's going to fit or not remains to be seen. But I guess I can sacrifice one faceplate to try it. Maybe put it down lower, in here somewhere, and have the variable speed dial. Yeah, it won't fit there. So once I get the second switch in there, I'll have to see if that'll fit somewhere in here on the face of the switch itself, or of the faceplate. And then I'll have my variable speed fan control properly installed here. Now, I promised you I was going to do the LED lighting the other day, but I've been doing my electronics projects pretty late in the evening, and it's 9:30 at night again, so it's getting late. I'm going to sign off for now and consider this a happy finished project. Tape this all up, jam that up inside there for now, and leave it. When I get back to doing the LED lighting, I'm experimenting on LED lighting. I'll show you a little bit of that to give you a taste of what's to come. When I get back to that in the future, we'll finish that up. So bit by bit, I'm getting the wiring in the tiny house on wheels. And when I'm all done, of course, I'm going to hide all this junk under some trim work. So I'll just probably tape that up and zip tie it and get it out of the way for now. Okay, I did one just for my viewers who say they have OCD and can't stand a mess left behind. I put everything neatly in a box, and look at this. I taped up the wires all the way up, nice and neat out of the way. It is temporary, but at least now it's neater, huh? So there you go. I do listen to my commenters, and there you go. Now the pull switch Now the PWM controller is up inside there, taped up. Let's see if I can show you. It's all taped up and covered and tucked back in there deeply, and it doesn't even come in contact with the back of those switches. It's tucked in really deep, and I'll probably put some plastic up in there as an extra insulator anyway later on. These boxes are deeper than they need to be for the switches, but that makes it convenient for me because now I've got my fan speed controller tucked up inside, and I've got room for my dial here on the faceplate later on. So there we have it. Flip on the fan. Oops. There it is. And I'll flip off the fan. And off. Nice. And it's running nice and slow and easy. So there it is. Works nicely.